Every time green onions went on sale, I'd buy a big bunch thinking I was being smart and saving money. But a few days later, I'd open the fridge and find them wilted, slimy, and ready for the trash. And honestly, I got tired of throwing away food I had just paid for. Hi friends, it's Nancy here, if that sounds familiar. Today I'm going to share the simple ways I prepare green onions so they stay fresh, crisp, and ready to use for weeks without waste. One of these methods can help keep green onions fresh for nearly a full year, and most people have never even tried it. Start by sorting through the green onions and removing any yellow, wilted, or slimy leaves. Trimming off damaged parts right away prevents them from affecting the rest of the bunch. If the root ends look muddy, trim just a small portion off, but keep most of the white stem intact. Next, fill a large bowl with cool water. Add 1 teaspoon of baking soda and a small pinch of salt. Then stir until dissolved. Soak the green onions for about 5 minutes. This helps lift dirt, reduce residue, and clean between the layers more effectively. Gently rub near the white ends where soil tends to hide. After soaking, rinse thoroughly under running water. Shake off excess water, then lay them on a clean towel or paper towels. Pat them dry and allow them to air dry completely. Any leftover moisture can cause spoilage, sliminess, or mold. Completely dry onions are the key foundation for longer-lasting freshness. Once they're completely dry, I start chopping them into small pieces, just like I do when I'm making any dish that calls for green onions. Do you ever keep pre-chopped green onions in the refrigerator so they're ready to grab and use? If you appreciate that kind of convenience, this first method may truly surprise you with just how easy and practical it is. Place the chopped green onions into a small plastic container. Don't pack them down too tightly. Put the lid on securely, then place the container straight into the freezer. You might wonder why this works so well. When green onions are frozen, the low temperature slows down spoilage by limiting air circulation and reducing moisture activity. Even without adding any oil, storing the onions in a small container helps minimize their exposure to the moving air inside the freezer. Less exposure to air means less freezer burn and better flavor retention. The best part is the convenience. Whenever you're making soup, a stir-fry, or scrambled eggs, you can simply scoop out a spoonful of green onions directly from the freezer. No need to thaw. This saves time, reduces waste, and makes everyday cooking feel much easier and more organized. Just remember to return any unused portion to the freezer right away. If frozen green onions sit out too long, they will begin to thaw, and that can reduce their flavor. However, if you worry about adding too much or too little green onion to a dish, or you simply like having it divided into small, ready-to-use portions, this is the method I use most often. Use a spoon to divide the chopped green onions evenly into an ice cube tray. Don't press them down too firmly, just fill each compartment about 3/4 full. Then gently pour a little water into each section, just enough to cover the onions. The water helps hold everything together and protects the onions from exposure to air while they freeze. Place the lid on the tray and set it in the freezer until the cubes are completely solid. Once they're fully frozen, remove them from the tray and transfer them to a freezer-safe zip-top bag. This saves space and makes it easy to take out exactly what you need at any time. On busy days, this method truly feels like a small gift to yourself. When you're making soup or a stew, Simply drop one frozen cube straight into the pot. There's no need to thaw it first. The cube melts quickly and releases a fresh, balanced flavor into your dish. Everything is already portioned, neat, and ready to go. It makes everyday cooking feel simpler, more organized, and much more manageable. What about fresh green onions? Would you like to learn another method that can help keep fresh green onions for nearly a month? The key to this method is controlling moisture. Too much moisture will cause green onions to spoil quickly. After washing them thoroughly and letting them dry completely, prepare a storage container with a layer of paper towels lining the bottom. Arrange the green onions in a single layer, without crowding or pressing them down. They need a little breathing room, then place another layer of paper towels on top. If you have more green onions, continue layering in the same order paper towels. Green onions, paper towels, until the container is full. Just remember, never stuff or pack them tightly. Close the lid as usual and store the container in the refrigerator. The paper towels will gently absorb excess moisture, helping prevent sliminess and rot. This method is simple, clean, and especially helpful if you prefer not to pre-chop your green onions. When you're ready to cook, simply take out the amount you need and slice them fresh at that moment. If you don't have a large quantity of green onions, give this method a try. The results may truly surprise you. If you'd like a storage method that lasts for several months, even all year long, drying green onions is a wonderful option. After washing them and drying them thoroughly, slice the green onions very thin and spread them in a single layer in the basket of your air fryer. Make sure they're evenly arranged so they dry at the same rate. Set the temperature low, around 170 degrees Fahrenheit, 75 degrees Celsius, or use the lowest setting your air fryer allows. Dry them slowly for about 8 to 13 minutes, depending on how much you're making. At the 10-minute mark, I open the air fryer and gently stir them once so they dry more evenly. When the onions are completely dry, they should feel crumbly and light to the touch, with no softness left at all. That's when they're ready. This next step is very important. Let the dried onions cool completely before storing them. Any remaining warmth can create condensation inside the jar, which may lead to moisture and spoilage. Once they're fully cooled, transfer them to a clean, airtight jar and store it in a cool, dry place. You'll always have a convenient jar of green onions ready in your kitchen. Simply sprinkle a little over eggs or potatoes, and your dish will instantly have more flavor. For me, this method is especially helpful when green onions are inexpensive and in season. With just a few simple steps, you'll have green onions ready to use, save money, and reduce waste throughout the year. And finally, this last method is the one that makes your refrigerator look alive. After washing the green onions and drying them completely, you can trim a little off the roots if needed. Pour a small amount of water into a glass, just enough to cover the roots. Stand the green onions upright in the glass with the roots facing down. Gently place a zip-top bag over the leafy tops. Do not seal it tightly. Leave about a half-inch opening near the bottom of the bag so air can circulate. That small opening helps prevent excess moisture from building up while still protecting the onions from drying out. Place the glass in the refrigerator and change the water every few days if needed. I like this method because the green onions stay fresh and lively. The roots continue to absorb water, so they don't dry out or wilt. They stay bright green, crisp, and full of flavor. Each time you open the refrigerator, you'll see fresh green onions ready to snip and use. This simple approach keeps them visible, fresh, and within easy reach. It makes everyday cooking feel smoother, helps you avoid unnecessary trips to the grocery store, and keeps your kitchen neat, organized, and always prepared. Before we wrap up, remember this: keeping green onions fresh isn't just about storage, it's about saving time, reducing waste, and making everyday cooking feel easier. Choose the method that fits your routine, not someone else's. A small habit like proper storage can mean fewer grocery trips and more fresh flavor in your meals. I truly hope one of these tips makes your kitchen life simpler and more enjoyable. If this was helpful, please subscribe and join our kitchen family. I'd love to share more simple, healthy ideas with you. Wherever you are, I hope you're staying well, cooking with love, and taking good care of yourself and your family. I'll see you in the next video.